were doing.
Hi, welcome to the Random Hour. As usual, I'm joined by Devin of More Sports, and today we're joined by two members of the band Rath Bath.
Hello.
Hi.
We're going to be talking today about some of their music and anything that. What else do you think we would talk about?
I actually have like two questions about their music videos. Meat Prophet and it was Meat Prophet and it was the other one. Let me scroll down my notes. There we go. Perfect. And then there was one video I forgot. I didn't make the names of my notes. I'm sorry. It's about all the bouncy houses. So I'm curious.
Little Birds. Little Birds is the other music video we have out. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a question about that later down the road and things like that. As always, don't worry, guys. We don't usually talk about just your music.
Let's go.
I watched, so when we were doing our first interview with a band, and I was watching a bunch of their interviews, they were bigger than us, and I was like, I got to figure out what to do. And I was like watching all these interviews, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awful. They asked the same question over and over. And so when we interviewed Felicity, I was like, I've got to do something to distract from the fact that they're just musicians, because they get asked the same thing. So I'd ask them about food, tours, their tattoos, just random stuff.
They perked up. It's funny. They perked up when we heard about the restaurant named Cookout and their tattoos. They literally jumped out of the seats, and I was like, all right, so ask crazy questions when we do musical guests.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. We do tend to get asked the same questions a lot, so it's appreciated.
Oh yeah. But the first question we've got for you, your band is you're branded as Ratcore, you're Rath Bath.
Yes.
Can you give the listeners at home a very niche and confusing examples of what Ratcore is?
Yeah, so Ratcore, it's like music to scurry through tunnels to, music to like hang out with your homies, maybe get all your tails tangled together and like form some unholy eldritch like amalgam of consciousness living in the sewers. That's what we want people to be doing when they listen to our music.
Amen.
Okay.
Dude, that explains so much.
Scared.
No, in my back of my mind, just watching their music videos and listening to music, I was like, okay, that it's like a full circle loop. It's starting to make sense now. I'm like, okay, that's.
Oh, I thought it was because last time I told you what a Rat King was.
Yeah,
Rat Kings are intense.
Oh, yeah.
We retired this design, but we used to have a Rat King inspired merch design, but it was like a very cute Rat King, like a very approachable Rat King, They were wearing little cowboy hats. It was cool.
Yeah. It actually sounds really cool.
Actually does, a little cowboy hat. So let me ask you this, guys. Out of all the songs you have written, what song has mean the most to you guys?
I can answer that right away. It's going to be the last track on Call Me a Monster. It's called Devour Me Rosemary. Just a very fun song. I got to go crazy. Got to basically just let loose and write a very fun, complex part that's just very obtuse but very fun to play.
Okay.
Yeah, Nikki and I we're fans of like very, very kind of overwrought, obtuse, like concept heavy music. And so that album and that track in particular, we could really let loose and
we sent it.
Like, you know what, let's just write a 6-minute long confusing song with all these different movements.
A bunch of moving parts and shit.
So that one's pretty special for that reason. I really like the track 6, Mercy I Cried, off of that same album. Was one that is a lot simpler, I would say, but just has a really powerful sound and like the lyrical content.
And your guitar solo is fucking incredible.
I did. That was the guitar solo. I had to do like 17 or 18 takes in the studio because I bit off a bit more than I could chew with it. But our vocalist Fred writes most of the lyrics, and that song in particular was one that I just find the lyrics that they wrote for it to be like so moving. Even having heard the song so many times, I still like get emotional when I hear those verses.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll go ahead. Question number 3.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask it?
You're number 3.
Oh, I am.
All right, question number 3.
We're trained professionals. We didn't say who trained us though. What is something you guys nerd out about?
Ooh.
Me personally, I'm really into D&D, really into anime. I mean, I love like Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, board games, video games,
Mhm.
not leaving my house. Those are my enjoyments.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have so many. Oh, it's trying to blur it out. We have so
Hey,
many.
yo.
Oh man, dude, we create so much anime content. We have a bunch of D&D content in the works. So that's why when you said that, I said, "Oh, how ironic!" So if you like D&D, we have a bunch of D&D stuff coming out in the coming month.
I'll have to check
I
it
can
out.
read an
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big D&D nerd as well. Been playing since the 3.0 days back in middle school. I big math and science enjoyer also. I have a degree in math from the University of Iowa. People are often surprised to learn that about me.
I didn't know that.
Because I'm so cool and attractive, not like most math nerds, but yeah, and just like science fiction, fantasy literature is a big interest of mine. I'm have not got around to seeing the new Dune movie yet, but I'm interested to do so. That's one of the ones that like I'm such a big fan of the Dune books that I almost don't want to see it because I'm like, I just know that it's not gonna live up to the source material, but everybody's talking about it, so I feel like I ought to see it at some point, if only to be in the conversation.
I can understand that. What was it? There was something that I really wanted to watch, and then I think it was one of the Godzilla movies, and I was like, really want to go see this in theaters, but I don't want to because I don't want it to ruin it for me.
Right.
If something, and then I ended up caving in, and I was like, I really want to go see it, and then nobody would go see it with me, and so I was like, I don't want to go alone. But I do understand the math thing because I used to do long division for fun a lot when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so yeah, I completely understand that.
It's nice. What I like about math is it's like you can instead of being like stressed out and frustrated about all the like real world things that are happening in your life, you can get like really stressed and frustrated about this not real thing. So it's a nice like distraction from the more everyday mundane forms of stress.
Oh yeah.
God, no, dude. The only math I do on a daily basis in my work is just stats, and that's it. Anything past stats, I'm not doing.
Stats can be fun.
Yeah. A little too utilitarian for my taste. I like really useless math. I like math that you couldn't possibly like do anything profitable with.
I can understand that. I do a lot of statistics for our podcast. They're just completely useless. But I'm like, I did them and they're fun to me. They kept me busy.
Yeah.
Oh no, he'll send them to me, and I'm like, fascinating. I didn't know this was a stat. He's like, "What is?" I said, "All right, we're gonna attack this stat."
How was your recent tour? Any wacky stories?
Recent tour.
I don't think there's any stories from that one.
Yeah, so we did a short run here at the beginning of May. That was what we were doing when we first got your email. That one was that was just like a 4-day weekender kind of. I don't know if anything too wacky happened. We did play in a bowling alley.
That was cool.
Which was fun. That was a first for us.
Ooh, I kind of want to know that story.
Yeah, so is a place in Detroit, and we played Detroit quite a bit. We have some really good friends there. But when we've played before, we've always gone to this one house venue called Voodoo House. So we were playing a different place this time. We had jumped on the single release party for the band Killing Pixies, whose swag I'm repping right now. They had just put out a single, and so we were able to jump on that show, and they decided they wanted to have it at this bowling alley, I guess. And it was an interesting environment because it was like, the lanes were still open, so there were people who were there just to bowl, and then there was like a dance party thing going on upstairs, and then there was like the punk bands were playing just kind of right by the front door. There wasn't a stage or anything. We just had a little section of the floor where we set up a drum kit, and so it was an interesting mixture of people coming to the show. I think some people were like used to the fact that bands played there. Some people, it seemed like, were not expecting loud music. Live music as soon as they walk in the front door. But it was fun, It was definitely a change of pace from the type of venues we usually play. And Detroit is always one of our favorite cities to go to because there's just a really cool music scene out there. Lots of great stuff happening. Killing Pixies are some of our favorite people that we've connected with through doing music. So it was really cool to be a part of their release event.
Yeah, their single Body Bag is amazing.
Yeah.
You guys get the chance to check it out, would highly suggest. Like, these guys are so good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'll add that to the notes.
It's like you put in their notes for later. Killing Pixies Body Bag.
Hell yeah. It's a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So let me ask you this. Back to y'all's music. What are some of the bands and musicians that you guys listen to that inspired your style of music? Like, who was your inspiration for your band, to dumb it down?
Are you asking for personal inspiration or overarching band inspiration?
Both, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
Either. It's up to you.
So the original vision for Rath Bath, we actually kind of started out as a band in order to prove a point, which is that My Chemical Romance, and specifically the album Black Parade, is a country album. This had been an ongoing debate between, Fred and I, who maintained that it was a country album, and some other haters who said it wasn't a country album. So we decided we needed to settle that once and for all. So we got a band together to play country style covers of MCR songs for a Halloween show. That was in 2019, and ended up having so much fun with it that we decided to stay together and, become a real band, as it were. And then that, of course, was only a few months before the pandemic hit and everything shut down, and we went on hiatus for about a year and a half. But that was kind of the original vision, was kind of My Chemical Romance meets Johnny Cash. As far as personal inspirations, I do really like a lot of the old school country artists. Just in that I like songs that tell stories, and I feel like country, and particular the kind of old school country, the kind of like Woody Guthrie, Johnny Cash, very, very just like, here's a thing that happened type of country music, or here's some guy.
Yeah. I love that shit. I love that here's some guy.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite types of country songs is just, hey, this guy. So that's a big inspiration kind of conceptually for me. As far as the actual sound and the instrumentals, I'm a big like surf rock fan. Dick Dale is one of my all-time favorites. So you maybe have to listen a little closer to hear that in the music, but that's where I get a lot of my inspiration when it comes to like my guitar playing. You know, Nikki, what inspires you?
Yeah, so I was actually the latest member to join Rath Bath. Been with them for about 2 years now. And when I initially joined the band, I didn't like punk or country. It wasn't necessarily genres that I enjoyed.
Or emo, right?
Or emo, honestly. But usually what I'll do is I'll try to find a band that's outside of my genre so I can learn how to play that, gain new skills, new connections, shit like that. I end up falling like in love with everyone in the band and the music itself. Like I will eat up a country shuffle now. I love that stuff. Like I could not stand playing it before.
Oh yeah, we had to fight so hard to get Nikki to just go.
Would not.
And now it's all she wants to do.
Honestly, but my original like core influence, because I've been playing since I was about 7. The albums that I learned playing the drums to was the Presidents of the United States of America self-titled album, Green Day's Dookie, Stone Temple Pilots Core, Dismemberment Plan. Like my drumming comes from very like 90s grunge post-punk, a very specific like little sound from the 90s that I hold very dear to my heart, and I love that stuff so much. But yeah, that's my sound. So
Okay.
Yeah, I could kind of tell with the music, it was giving me 90s vibes right off the bat. So I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah, I'm glad that came through.
It reminded me a lot of Johnny Cash, especially with some lyrics, and then dark country or gothic country, where it's like more, more like that is what I noticed. I really enjoyed that. I forget when we were in college, I would pick like a different genre to listen to, study to. Western soundtracks and dark country is what I used to study chemistry to.
Oh, so, shit. Interesting. Nice.
Oh, yeah. But, Devin, you're a bigger country fan than me. I don't like the modern one. I always like Johnny Cash and older, like, Fallout music, sort of.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to get into the country debate, right? I mean, nowadays with these newer artists, they're doing the more pop taste to it, right? Or the pop country thing to it. They're not really going back to their roots. Now, you do have some artists out there, they're not getting a big push right now. They're going back to the storytelling. It's funny. Actually, where I'm at, we were at a country concert. His name is, I'm drawing a blank, Zach Top, and he was more like the George Strait, Jackson 90s country twang to him. I recommend him. If you guys check him out, his name is Zach Top. Recommend him. He's got like a 90s country vibe to him. He's great live, and he's actually one of those singers that's like he sounds like his album. So I really enjoyed that. But boy, I'm not gonna say that. The guy that opened for him, and I got a crazy story. So last week, my wife had some friends come down here where I'm at. Again, listen to Zach play, and the guy that who's opener, he was like, "Hey y'all, my name's so and so, and this is a song I sat with my daddy about 2 girlfriends ago, and it's called Truck Bed." And he would literally go, and he was like screaming into the mic. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Country screamo.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. No,
he wasn't even screaming. Every time he would start a new song, he would just go, "This song's about a girlfriend," and I was with my daddy in his truck, and we were driving down, about to break up. I called this song Truck Bed, and he go, "Her," and he would just scream, and like, that southern drawl into the mic, and I'm like, dude, just but now that you guys say you have inspiration to country music, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it more carefully. That was an interesting take. I appreciate it. I did see the banners from the, like you said, the country versus emo event you guys were talking about. I did see that, and I was like, that's pretty interesting.
It was a fun event. Like everyone really loved it. It made for a great bill. Got all the fan bases kind of mingling and exposing other people to other genres and shit like that.
Yeah, and that's something we really try to do as much as possible with our shows is to have an interesting mix of different sounds and different styles. Because I feel like a lot of the time, especially in kind of the DIY or the indie scene, you'll go to a show and it's four bands that all pretty much sound the same, and they might all be really good bands, but to me, it's just more interesting to have a little bit of variety and yeah, like Nikki said, bring different fan bases together, expose people who maybe wouldn't normally listen to your music to what you're doing.
Okay. So our next question. So the past theater group has dubbed you as queer villains. What is one of your favorite villains? Or you can list as many as you want. It's open to you.
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
So I think from a very young age, I identified with the character Maleficent in The Sleeping Beauty. I think she was like the original girl boss I aspired to be, and I really wanted to be Maleficent for Halloween one year when I was a kid. My dad was not a fan of that idea. But yeah, Maleficent, she's transition goals for sure. More recently, I really like I was just talking to you about this the other day, but the anime series Afro Samurai has, I think, one of the greatest anime villains of all time. Justice, voiced by Ron Perlman, is just like so sinister and like definitely subtly queer coded, but in a very kind of non-standard way, I guess. I just really like that character design. I don't know. What do you think?
I'd say I got probably three. I can't remember the dude's name, but it's the antagonist from Treasure Planet. It's like the cook guy. Can't remember his name.
I know what you're talking about.
Always loved that guy. Always loved Team Rocket. Like I was like, if I was in the show, that would be me just being a fucking little goober, just like, haha, here's my little scheme. Like I love villains that are like campy about being a villain, like they're very much into being a villain.
They don't take themselves too seriously. They have fun with it. Yeah.
I feel like Megamind did that really well. I really enjoyed that film. Okay, so have you all seen the Digimon movie from like the early 2000s?
I have not.
It has been a hot minute for years.
Okay, so there's a Digimon called Terriermon, and basically the whole premise of the second half of the film is there's twins of the two Digimon. One gets infected by basically a computer virus, gets corrupted, and then like that's kind of the antagonist of the series. I identify with that antagonist, but only when it turns into true bunny form,
I'm looking at it now. It looks cute.
You're looking at it, you're Googling.
Oh, if you haven't seen the Digimon movie, incredible. One of my favorite movies of all time. Like the animation, the soundtrack to that movie molded me into what I listen to today.
I definitely feel like that watching that movie as a kid is what got me interested in ska.
Yeah, I know for sure.
It
has like Less Than Jake, has some Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh yeah.
Like it has the hits. I'm pretty sure it has Fatboy Slim on it too.
It's got a couple. The Funk Soul Brother track. Yeah.
I got addicted to that song when I watched that movie. It's so good.
I know. Pokemon House, and it's funny. I'll go around and find somebody in Digimon. We didn't find Pokemon Go. That's funny that Digimon's been mentioned more than once this week.
Digimon should be making the moves. It's the unsung true hero. Like through the power of friendship, we all shall prevail. Like
I've never seen Digimon.
You should sit down. The first two seasons
are worth a watch.
Immaculate.
I always liked it a little bit better than Pokemon, I think, because I felt like there was a more egalitarian relationship between like the kids and their
Like,
monster friends. It wasn't like, oh, you have to live in this little ball and come out when I want you to fight. It was like, we're just friends hanging out.
Well, yeah, because like literally the Digimon would like hit them up in the real world and be like, "Hey, do you mind coming in and helping us out?"
Cracking,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, and I felt like they had way better like character development. Like in the second season, there's this whole like arc of this War Greymon who's like struggling with his own existence in like just a children's show, and it's just
very
like
existential. It's
very
fun.
intense. But I digress. I love Digimon.
Yeah, now we're on a tangent, but
we're gonna it's trust me, it's fine. I have ADHD. You probably noticed from my inability to sit still. So we get distracted a lot. When we were interviewing the DJ, we ended up talking about food for I don't know how long.
40 minutes. It was 40 minutes. I was like, oh, it ain't that bad. We just went on a 10-minute tangent. No, Kyle, we went on a 40-minute tangent.
God dang.
I mean, we're fueled by ADHD here.
Yeah.
All right, Devin.
Whoops, I'm the next question. Okay, so back to your music video, Little Birdie.
Yes.
I want to know the story behind the inflatable bounce houses. One, can you kind of describe the music video for me? Two, how in the world did you get all them bouncy houses? Because I had questions. Because the way it was pictured, it was like, yeah, we just put up to a kid's party and just bounced them real fast, and we rolled out. I was like, I have questions.
Yeah, so that is pretty much the story of the music video itself. Is the idea is that we as a band roll up to this bounce house park. We get all excited to go in, but there's an evil security guard who's played by our good friend Trevor. Who Trevor has a special place as kind of the recurring villain in the Rath Bath universe.
Actually, Trevor's one of my favorite villains.
Yeah, another top tier villain. They also played the evil exterminator in our other music video, Meat Poppet, you mentioned earlier. But in this one, they're a security guard who does not want all of us having fun at this bounce castle park. And so then the rest of the video is just us kind of running around trying to evade the security guard and jumping around in various bounce structures. The way that came about, it was pitched by our videographer, filmmaker that we work with to make these music videos. They're called Dorm Girl Productions, operating out of here in Milwaukee. And one of the people behind Dorm Girl Productions actually works at a like party supply bounce house rental company. So they were able to convince their boss to let us set up and film in all of these bounce houses. Finding a location to shoot it at actually proved to be the hardest part because all the parks in Milwaukee either weren't available or were wanting to charge us like hundreds and hundreds of dollars to just reserve a space to film. But we ended up finding a park outside of town a little ways that would let us do it for reasonably cheap. And just went there and made a day of it, set up all these bounce houses, spent the day just having fun. And that really was, I think, one of the most fun like video projects that we've done because so much of it was just
we're
like
just hanging out,
us goofing around, connecting with our inner children. So yeah, that one was a lot of fun to make. Not our most high concept video. It's pretty straightforward, but I had a really good time making it, and I think that shows when you watch the video.
So what is your go-to snack?
Go-to snack? Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say hot Cheetos, if you'd asked me that a couple of years ago. But as I'm getting up there in years, I just turned 30. My digestive system is not what it used to be, and it cannot handle a whole bag of hot Cheetos anymore. So I'm kind of still searching around for a new go-to snack. Still window shopping, as it were. What do you think, Nikki?
My all-time favorite snack is plain rippled chips dipped in sour cream. That's it.
Mm.
The oil from the chips with the sour cream, delectable. So good.
Some gourmet shit.
That's a first for me, but interesting.
You've never heard of that?
That's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never done it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh man, I don't know. But then again, hot Cheetos, man. I don't know. Down here in South Georgia, we see a lot of people eat Takis, man. I've seen so many bag of
Oh,
Takis.
Takis are delicious.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
don't think the mess that they make.
As somebody that ate a whole bag last night, yes, they are.
ate a whole bag.
I got hungry.
Dude, how are you not? Never mind. I don't want to be vulgar. Like, how are you not having to go to the bathroom? Jesus.
I'm built different currently.
Hey, man.
See, that's what I thought with the hot Cheetos a couple of years ago, but that lifestyle caught up to me eventually.
It's okay. I got about 3 good years in me, and then I hit my 30s, and I'm like, won't be that great.
You gotta enjoy it while you can.
Oh yeah.
You know what I can't eat anymore? Do they have Chipotle in Wisconsin?
Oh yeah.
He's never been able to eat it.
Dude, that Chipotle sauce, I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
That little hot sauce, I can't do it. I thought I used to. Now it's over.
If it makes you feel any better, there's a lot of things I'm not allowed to have anymore. And that's on allergies.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm. Just one day, apparently the stress finally got to me, and I became allergic to a bunch of stuff. And now I'm not allowed to touch keys and doorknobs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Which is interesting because my job, I unlock doors for a living.
It's okay. I'll tell you a quick funny story. I'll pick at Kyle here. So when I first met my wife about 4 years ago, that's when all the stress happened, and Kyle had had a bunch of hives and whatever. So the first time I met my wife, I go, Kyle, do not go up to this girl and be like, you want to see my rashes?
I didn't, but apparently they both were talking, and then all of a sudden they'd be like, I don't want to see your rashes, Kyle. I'm like, I didn't say anything about rashes. I was just getting bullied by them.
They just wanted to get out ahead of that one, yeah.
Sorry, Kyle. You opened up a core memory. I was like, God, you remember this one time? Oh man, sorry about that. But anyways, back to your second music video, Puppet. I actually kind of enjoyed the what was the inspiration with the exterminator with the rat? I kind of like that. What made you guys think of that kind of storytelling for it? Because I enjoyed that one too. That one was also pretty cool and unique. And I like you got the exterminator chasing the rat, and you also have you guys are playing at the venue, and it's in like the old '90s like video footage. And I was like, that's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
What made you guys think about that?
So I'm trying. That one we made. That was the first music video we made. I'm trying to think back to what our headspace was at that time. I think we knew that we wanted to do, that kind of like live footage, crowd shot thing. But then we wanted some kind of other narrative to like tie it all together. Also, something that was pretty simple, easy to follow, incorporated the whole rat aesthetic. And so, we just landed on that was another happy accident with the videographers, Dorm Girl Productions, who made that music video as well. They happened to have like a giant, like life-size rat costume just laying around. I guess they had made it for another video shoot recently. So I think they were the ones who pitched like, well, hey, we have this rat suit. We could dress somebody up in that and, just do something with that, which was just too good of an opportunity to pass up. So we did that, and then we came up with the exterminator storyline to add a little bit of conflict, a little bit of tension to the video.
I really like the scene where the exterminator just gets punched in the face in the pit.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. a lot of fun to shoot as well. We advertised around town, you know, like we'd give you free pizza and a free t-shirt if you came to this music video shoot at this venue for us in the middle of the day. It was like 2 o'clock on a Sunday or something when we filmed this. And a lot of people came through, which was really cool. And they were really good sports about us, you know, all standing on stage pretending to play the same 2.5 minute song about 12 or 13 times in a row. But they did great, and we got some really good shots with the crowd and the mosh pit, and then, you know, the rat getting carried off stage and everything. Yeah, that was a fun one to film as well.
Okay. Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought you were frozen.
No, this is what you want me to ask this question?
You can if you want.
Okay. So listen, here, ran by the random hour, we're fueled by two things:
Okay.
ADHD and caffeine. What's your go-to coffee order?
Ooh. Normally, I'll just order a black coffee, because I'm kind of boring like that. But if I feel like treating myself, I do really enjoy like a lavender oat milk latte.
Yeah, I mean, like, caffeine doesn't really affect me. So, like, you know, usually if I'm drinking a caffeinated drink, it's just a tasty little drink. Coffee wise, it's going to be like an 8-ounce cappuccino with probably a non-dairy milk. And then if it's an energy drink, the only energy drink that makes me feel something is G Fuel. So like that's the only thing I'll drink, because like it actually makes me feel like I'm crawling out of my skin. Whereas if I just drink like a Monster, I just want to take a nap. Like,
we should see if they'll sponsor us. I feel like you could just do that as an ad for them. Like, that'd be good.
Gamers and musicians unite.
It makes me want to crawl out of my skin.
In a good way, though.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. Hold on, let me send this to him. Let me click and send it to him.
Yeah. Let's get that sponsorship deal. We'll all be drinking G Fuel in the van on tour.
We'll have like a can be like.
Yeah.
Wait, you gotta like turn the can.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, just.
I'll just be talking about it. I'll be like, hey, hold up.
Wait, let me focus this in. All right, there we go.
No, we actually, you might have seen, we have an ongoing bit on our TikTok where Roisin, our guitarist, will shotgun just about anything she can get her hands on. So a lot of weird energy drinks we find at gas stations.
Did she ever shotgun that Bucked Up?
No, we haven't done that yet.
I thought I saw that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that explains a lot. I remember watching those TikTok and I was like, I want to party with these guys. Hold up.
Yeah, Rosie can party. I think the weirdest one was somebody asked her to shotgun a gallon of milk, and she did. And I
didn't
there,
want that.
Right. I was like going concerned for her. I think I intervened at some point. I was like, girl, you better not drink that whole gallon of milk, because I don't know if it's an old wives' tale or if it's true, but I was always told growing up, if you drink a whole gallon of milk in 20 minutes,
you'll throw up.
Like, you'll die. Like, I was led to believe that it was much more serious. Yeah, probably you'll just throw up
because of the expansion, the tummy and shit.
Yeah. But I was like, oh my God, Rosie, she's gonna die of an exploded stomach or something if she drinks all this milk.
See, my favorite Rosie shotgunning one was we got this like extra large Diet Coke from Wendy's, and we like it fell off the table and the like bottom like cracked. So then she just like popped the lid and shotgunned it from like the large. It was one of the funniest ones I remember seeing.
Oh, golly, Kyle, you okay? I saw the talking about a gallon of milk, and you just went from "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
Listen. That milk, okay, so I'm at work right now. That cup of milk is still there. It keeps getting replaced. There's just a cup of milk in the fridge, and somebody keeps leaving cups of milk in the fridge.
Wow.
Backtrack for him. Go ahead, because I remember when I worked there. Go ahead, backtrack for him real fast, because it took me a
It's just
second.
a cup of milk in a fridge.
How long has it been there for? Like a couple months, a year?
I keep throwing away cups of milk that are left in the fridge, and it just finds its way back.
Is there like a gallon of milk in the fridge that these cups could be poured? No. So someone's just like bringing in a cup of milk, putting it in the fridge.
A singular cup of milk. It's a mini fridge about this big.
Wow.
About the size of like a microwave, a really big microwave or something. And so there's just this cup of milk, and it is driving me crazy because I can't figure out who's just grabbing your cup of milk and forgetting it in the fridge.
Yeah, and repeatedly too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I remember. So just to backtrack, I used to do the security job that Kyle has, and I did it during the pandemic, and I'd have the same problem. And I'm like, dude, who is bringing milk? It's just me and one other guy working. I know it's not him because he's sitting here right beside me.
Yep.
That's been an ongoing bit for a hot minute.
It was actually Devin who was bringing in the milk the whole time. I fully believe this. Devin, I think you're still sneaking in at night. You probably still have the keys because you were security, putting that milk in the fridge just to mess up Kyle's day. I'm going to call it.
The problem is, if I wasn't
he can't commit to a bit.
away,
I would be the one to do that if it was out of the two of us. But yeah, I can't figure out where the milk is coming from. I have a couple suspects, but they've heard me talk about the milk. So either they're doing it and not telling me, or it's not them.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, if I wasn't 5 hours away, I would totally mess with him, but I'm 5 hours away. But Kyle, on the other hand, we've been friends for about 9 years, college roommates for about 2. If you get Kyle started, my wife could testify. He's a prankster through and through, and our Twitter is just liquid gold when he tweets.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Him and my wife are in on it, and it's like right now, our pin tweet right now is I actually posted this on my TikTok where one of my kids looked at me. They go, "Coach, you're built like a chubby 8th grader," and Kyle just goes, Devin is the chubby 8th grader of our hearts, and he pinned in right now. It's at 200 views. I'm like, great, that's great. Nice. I'm a chubby 8th grader. It's great. It's actually probably going to be in my set tonight. I don't know. I've been debating on making fun of myself more and more. But anyway, guys, before we wrap this up, is there anything you'd like to tell the people at home? Any new projects you guys are working on, anything like that? The floor is yours.
Sure. So, we do have some new stuff coming this year. Have not made any official announcements yet, so I'm going to be kind of vague with the details. But as anyone who's seen one of our live performances recently will know, we are working with a bit of a new sound, have kind of pivoted since we put out the last album. So we're working on some new music that is kind of going in a different direction, and it's something that I'm very excited about. So we will have more info about that to come shortly. And anyone who wants to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, if anyone still uses Facebook, Rath Bath MKE, can stay up to date as we put more information out there about what we got in the works. Nikki, anything you want to plug?
Yeah, I believe that we should advocate for lower lumber prices generally.
Yeah.
That's it.
Lower lumber prices?
Yeah.
Price of lumber is
it's ridiculous. Like, how am I supposed to make anything? Like, I have to go through the alleys and just get scrap wood. Like, can't just go buy a 2x4 anymore. It's crazy.
Back in my day.
We're missing context here, and I'm going to roll with it.
We're like, what? But okay.
If you know, you know. The people out there, if you know, you know.
We've been having a problem with paint here. Paint prices.
Damn.
I know a couple years ago, there was like no yellow paint because of the shortage in Texas.
Interesting.
Okay.
It reminds me, we have one of the merch items that we've made for the last couple years we have these booty shorts that have some lyrics from the song Meat Puppet written on the butt, which is "If you touch me again, I will take your fucking hands." And so we really like those, and they always sell really well.
Really fast, yeah.
But we've had such a hard time the last couple of years getting booty shorts manufactured, and the price keeps going up, and we keep having to change suppliers. I don't know what's going on, but there is a crisis in this country where booty shorts are just getting harder and harder to manufacture. I don't know why. So someone needs to look into that, I think.
A booty shortage.
A booty short shortage, indeed.
Then I can get you a pair if you want.
If you're down that bad, I got you.
You know what? If the sad part is he's gonna probably go to your band website and order some, and they're gonna.
As you should. Everyone looks great in them.
It's
Come on.
true.
I'm gonna have to wear them. See, Kyle, like I said, he's a prankster, and he will mail stuff to my house, and I'm like, oh, I got a package.
You
And
should.
I'm like, oh, I know who this is from. Now you done created a prank. I can't wait. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna be getting a pair of booty shorts. I can't wait, and I'm gonna wear them too.
Hell yeah. They look great.
Absolutely.
The funny thing is, I do actually wear short shorts when I go to the gym.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend has no idea how to react about it. She'll just kind of, when I'm wearing them, she just,
Like, hey, my eyes are up here.
and I'm like, are you okay? And she goes, yep. And I'm like, do you want to look at me up here? And she goes, nope.
No, at least she honest. Like,
My wife's just gonna like the message across the booty cheeks, and she hopes I wear them out in public, and I will.
He only wears gym shorts.
It's a look. It's a vibe.
But all right, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show. As always, you can also subscribe to our social media. Again, you can check me out on my sports podcast, the More Sports Podcast, our movie review podcast, Popcorn Buckets, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Random Incorporated, where you'll also see the video version of this interview as well. And you can follow us on Instagram as Rando Boys, on Twitter as Random Incorporated 1. And now I'm getting into streaming as well at DEVIOM25. I stream whatever I want to stream on Xbox. Power to it. I'm learning as I go. Kyle, anything else you want to add?
We should probably stop doing that in segment with people so they don't have to sit through it too.
Yeah, but I'm just shortening it down. Short and sweet.
Okay.
yeah, post it anyway. So
We're just vibing.
self promotion's the only way as a small artist.
Yeah,
But
thank
thank you guys for coming on.
having
We
us. Yeah,
enjoyed it.
it's been a lot.
Enjoyed your music.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Yeah.
You too.
Until next time, guys.